get your brushes, go get your paint. This is how you do it, the Shoshie way. I'm gonna teach you, be ready to learn. Cause when I'm done, it's your turn. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on, tune in, hear all I say. Watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above. And if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hello guys, it is Shoshie from Shoshie's Minis and welcome. Today we are doing more Shelf of Shame bingo, which I'm going to do exclamation point bingo. Hello, Steve A. May Texas. Happy Wednesday. How are you? Let's do this bingo. Hold on. Hey, hey. Oh my gosh. Hydro Acid Clown. That's an amazing name. How are you? Cement Casual. We got some good ones here today. Thank you guys so much for coming. I'm going to put this bingo card in chat so you guys can go check it out. And if you want to, do your own bingo and like get some of your own Shelf of Shame minis done, that's what we're here for. That's what this whole stream is going to be about. Today I have Aradia. Well, it's a Mediterranean. Let me see if I can say this with an Italian accent. Mediterraneo Mediterraneo from Aradia Miniatures. All right, I'm gonna do overhead. Woo, look how sexy, oh my God. Ooh, I'm not allowed to have that on stream. Hold on, I gotta put some tape on stuff. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot this. So Twitch is weird. It won't allow any kind of, what do you call, like male nipples, female nipples, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put a little bit of, this is gonna be so silly. But yeah, I don't wanna get in trouble. I know, right? We got a little bit of Tata tape here. Oh, this is so silly. All right, don't laugh. But we're gonna cover up the babies. It kind of depends on what kind of money. Nips for nits. There we go. He's all ready. He's ready for streaming. We're gonna be giggling through this whole stream because this makes it worse, doesn't it? It makes it worse. Woo, that is hilarious. What a gorgeous family-friendly guy he is. All right, let me tell you the details about this. First of all, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you the link so you can see where you can go paint, or you can go to like check this guy out. Check this out. So Mediterraneo, he originally came sculpted with this interesting fish face. So you cannot get this Poseidon face at all. This was a special cast made only for the first 30 pre-orders of this mini, and I was one of them. I was like the last person to order, and so they sent me the Poseidon head, so it's super special and I'm excited. But the fish head guy, so the idea behind this whole thing is by Stefano Maroni, and the sculptor is by Joaquin Palacios, who is one of my all-time favorite sculptors. I really love his work. And you look like, see this finger? It broke. There's also a little, like, you can barely see it, but this, I had to pin this, or did I pin it? Yeah, I think I pinned it. But this thing broke also. So I've had many misadventures with this guy, like a lot of the other minis. When something breaks, I kind of lose interest and it's really difficult for me to finish. So that is why Mediterraneo never was finished. And let's see, the box art was originally by Mirko Cavalloni, who's one of my favorite painters, if you guys didn't know that already. So where do you buy the Tata tape? You can get this. It is from 3M, and you can get this from any like paint store or Home Depot or pretty much anywhere. And this is the extra thick kind. Just paint seashells over them. No, because I find him extremely beautiful, and I don't want to alter the sculpt. Just, you know, we could put a little, instead of tape. Hold on, I've got a possible solution. Just what if we did this? We could use little bits of stick tack. It might be worse. Again, it might be worse. Let's see if this is worse. Yeah, this is worse. Check this out. This is hilarious though. I cannot help but giggle. But Twitch has rules and I'm a partner, and so I can't look at this. No. All right, maybe we'll leave that. What do you think? No? Yes? That hurts to see. Wait, it's gonna get worse. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm in too, how's that? They're like googly eyes. Oh, I'm crying. You never thought coming to the stream that you would end up with this, would you? Shall we do this? Okay, we'll do this. goodness. I'm like, you can tell like I'm shaking. It's so funny. All right. We've got a lot on his back to do anyway. You should censor the belly button with the, yes, let's do that. I'm so amused by myself right now. Hold on, because his body's mostly there. His body's mostly painted. Mediterraneo Twitch makeover. Well, thankfully we've got a lot on the back to paint, so I'll be able to show you some of how I've kind of worked up these skin tones. That's another thing that I'm very famous for painting the front of minis and then not getting around to the back. So that was another reason why he never, you know, took off and was, you know, reached finished completion. There we go. We're just using all the wrong words today. I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's get rid of the head, arms, maybe golden demon with this part. Yeah, for sure. We should. Hold on, I'm gonna take a picture of this for Twitch or for my social, because this is too hilarious. What will Joaquin think? All right, this is my next golden demon right here. Yeah, because they'll let me enter a non GW figure, right? Oh my gosh. So real quick, I want to show you another piece that I don't know if it's available yet because I couldn't find an order button, but I want to show you this mini. This is a Kraken mini. Hold on, let me click on this. Quick view. Here we go. This is a Kraken mini that is made by Model Land, Italia. And I just think this mini would be perfect with this figure. So did it look? All right, I'm gonna shoot. Are any of my mods? Steve, I'm gonna message you. Are you one of my mods? I don't think you are. Do I have a mod on? I don't think I do. We might have to mod somebody just so I can post my own links. How sad is that? Anybody? I'm Punch Drunk is here. All these people are here. It's so great. But none of my mods. All right, Painting Cricks, I'm modding you. Okay, get ready. All right, moderation, here we go. Roles. We're gonna pick, let's see. We're gonna find, let's see, add new. There we go. We're making a mod, and I'm gonna have you post this link for me, okay? All right, we're gonna save that. Yay! Okay. And I'll whisper this to you, so you're gonna have to go to your messages so that you can find it. My bot is weird. It's like I'm blocked from my own bot from sending messages. That's so weird. It wasn't always like this, and I did nothing to change anything either. Okay. Watch Painting Cricks be able to post this just fine. There we go. We're all set. Ready to paint. I'm gonna turn my music down just a skosh. All right, thank you. This is the Kraken that I think would be fantastic with this model. I just love him. And so this, I want you to see this. The end of his little thing is a little bit bent. So what I'll end up doing is probably dipping that in super hot water and straightening that out, or hitting it with my hairdryer heat gun. Yeah, he's gonna go mad with power, exactly. Oh, Painting Cricks will? Probably unlikely, but that's why I made Painting Cricks a mod. He's very responsible. I've met him in person. I know he's a good guy. All right, so let's figure out. So the current color scheme is obviously the flesh tones. There's blues, there's greens. I need to figure out the color for this big anemone thing that doesn't draw your eye too far away from the model. So if I want this, so you've got to think color theory. If I want the model to be the focus, cool colors kind of recede and warm colors come forward. I could go, where's my color wheel? It's probably not even on my desk right now. So currently I've got these, I'm gonna have this non-metallic gold, green, gold, like yellow, green, and then maybe purple. Hey, Cement Casual, you're awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. Oh wait, Painting Cricks gifted Cement Casual. Ooh, that's so awesome. Welcome, Cement Casual. You get some emotes to use from our channel now, thanks to Painting Cricks. We're gonna give some hype right now to both of you for being awesome. Yeah, very, very awesome guy. Hype. Yep, see now. Thank you. He's already doing his moderator duties. Subscriptions. And we're gonna do, wait, no, I don't want to say subscriptions. I want to say subscribers. Oh well. We'll make it a big deal with lots of exclamation points. Cement Casual. There we go. I'll just do it all caps. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I love the gecko emotes. They're the best. You said muted purples? Okay, that is perfect. I think that is a great idea. Muted as in like desaturated, or muted as in, well, we'll do muted purples. You know what? I'm gonna mix, I think this is a mahogany, and then if I maybe mix a little bit of purple with it, it could be a cool kind of color. Let's try it. The cool thing about the mahogany is I can underpaint that as my base. So we're gonna start out with that. I'm gonna put a lot of mahogany. See, it's a very rich red. It's a dark red. And then I'm gonna mix a little purple with it straight off. Now this is a kind of a, you can see from the top, it's kind of a, and it's like a dark pastel. So it's not a true purple at all. So it's gonna have some desaturation qualities in it already. All right, let's do one more color. Let's do dark umber, which is such a beautiful brown. That will mute things. And I think I'm gonna add a smidge of, I need a blue, I think, maybe. Let's see what I have. Let's do a smidge of dark blue-gray. I gotta shake this one. These are the Pro Acryl paints by Creature Caster. So you can go to Monument Hobbies, I guess is where they come, but you can, 17 mil, that's a lot. Hold on a second, I gotta check something. Is that the same amount as this? Yep, it's 1.7. Or no, it is 17 mil. Yeah, so they're the same. Okay, no biggie. Yeah, so they're brand new. That's why you probably haven't heard of them. A purple should draw the eyes from the bottom to the top with the blue-green tail. I agree. All right, I'll show you the 4 colors that I have on my palette right now. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me take a look here. Woo! All right, we've got, let me mix this with let me get a brush that's good for mixing. Let's do this brush right here. So here's my red. I'm gonna mix this over here. That's my red. Let's do the purple right in it. Ooh, I'd see, and I don't like, maybe. So that desaturated, that darkens the purple and made it not so vivid. Now we're gonna add a smidge of blue to it. Yes, yes. I like that. That is a pretty kind of, that's a kind of purple I think we were looking for. We're gonna use some of this up here to do our highlight. See how we're gonna use a little more blue down here. And I'm gonna add a smidge of brown to make that more gray. So it goes from gray to blue to purple. I think that's a good, yeah, thank you for that. Hydro-Ass Clown, I'm gonna give you some points. I think I can give you points. Maybe I have to have Painting Chris do it. So it's exclamation point, gift, G-I-F-T, Hydro, Acid, Clown, 86? Yep, 86, 5, dash space 5. Did it work? Yes. Yes, so one of the things we always do in this stream is we try to reward like being helpful in the stream, giving me ideas, and if I use them or if they're even if I don't use them, sometimes I'll just give you guys some points, and those points later will be used for all kinds of things. I'm gonna add, I want to add a smidge of some other kind of purple. Let's do Ildandle Violet for the deepest shadows, because we need something a little bit darker. So the Ildandle is a satin color, so it won't quite mesh. And we'll do this. There we go. That's going to be our darkest color, so we kind of have a range. Yes, I enjoy the process of improving as well. So notice, there we go. There's the first color, and I'm using a nice big, I think this is called a wedge. I can't remember, or a chisel. This is a chisel brush, I think. It's just one of those little Craft Smart brushes. It's a number 6. It's nice and big. Helps you be able to see what you're doing and paint a lot faster because you're using a nice big brush. And watch this, I can do a little bit of wet blending right. Did you see what I did? I just added the lighter color right on top, and then I'm gonna wet blend that right in. I love wet blending, it's so fast. Okay, back to the dark color. This paint set at Creature Caster. Yes, thank you for posting that, Mr. Scott G. Appreciate that. You're still using your army painter, but you're really thinking of making the jump to scale 75. If you do, let me think a second. If you do, you go to scale 70 or the Pro Acryl, but I'm really liking Pro Acryl as well. If you do go to the scale 75, it's a very different type of paint, and it does have a little bit of a learning curve compared to other paints, especially because it's way more opaque than the army painter. So I think I don't know. I think I would recommend you get a couple pots of both and see what you think of the Pro Acryl versus the scale 75. You never know. Okay, now I'm heading around this side with the lightest color because that's going to be... So notice that the blends are nice because it's wet on wet. And Pro Acryl has a nice long open time, and what open time means is that it takes a while for it to dry, which gives you more blending opportunities like this. Okay, notice I'm going in there with the darker again because we're kind of getting into the nooks and crannies. Try not to hit that like eel tail that he's got. The best feeling you ever had doing anything Warhammer related? Oh, your biggest leap was when you learned how to paint a vibrant... Oh, that's awesome. I love that. All right, let's do this. This is going to be on the anemone tendrils at the top. Now I have your question. Does that doesn't draw too far away, does it? I think it looks good so far. We got to get in all the little nooks and crannies here. I think it's totally worth it. Army Painter's good. There's some of the Army Painter set is better than others. Like there's a few paints in there that you'll have to use like a million coats of. But like the red is good. I want to say the white is good of Army Painter. I use the black quite a bit too. You can never have too much black of any paint. It always gets used, and you can just use it on bases if you no longer want to use that brand or anything anymore. All right, now we're going over it with the light. Now, I'm going to be very careful. Try to paint around here. I like that a lot so far. Now, here's the thing, is if I make that Kraken the same color as the Anemone, that could be interesting. I don't know. We'll see when I get it. Maybe make the Kraken more of a brown or a blue color. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to let that dry just a smidge. I'm going to add just a little bit of purple to my mix so that I've got something to give a little highlight to. I'm just touching the tops of stuff. Okay. Now, here's where I'm going to just dry brush just a smidge. Hello, Geeky Girl Games. How are you? You got to run Hydro. Thank you for the idea, and have a good time for the rest of your evening. So now I'm just going to use the straight up purple, the vivid purple, to kind of... Aw, Wintertide. How are you? Guys, let's give some hype to Wintertide Roll Studio. Just give us this awesome raid. Do some hype. Oops, let me spell hype right. There we go. Woohoo! You love my censoring, don't you? Isn't that awesome? I had to censor it because Twitch doesn't allow nipples, male or female. Thank you for the host, DC Cool. I think that's how I say your name. You like that? Why? That's silly. Oh no, because I guess streamers, both men and women, were getting on stream with their shirts off to just get views and stuff, and so they just banned it across the board, even on artwork. They were like, sorry, we can't do anything, sorry, not sorry. And so this is why. And then because I'm a partnered streamer, I gotta watch my P's and Q's a lot more, right? Because I don't want to risk losing partnership, and that's so hard to get. It's not worth throwing away just to have some male tatas, right? Yes. I'm just kind of dry brushing on some of my highlights right now a little bit. I think it needs to be even lighter on some spots. Yeah. It's going to be funny because everybody who's going to come forward is going to enjoy my censoring. Now they're going to blame me. They're going to be like, why are you censoring it? That was correctly DC Cool. You can just call me DC as Winter does. Awesome. All right, I will. All right, so now instead of, because this is a rough surface, I'm just gonna this is called stippling, where you just kind of tap. It's still not, it's really dark on a screen. Teviston, you're here for the fish. That's what kind of mood this stream is already. It's just gonna be one of those fun ones. I didn't expect for it to be like this, but it's hilarious. Oh, we need to give Winter a shout out real quick too. Let's do that real quick. Shout out. Winter, you need to shorten your name. It's Wintertide Wolf Studios. It's long. I think I did that right. Yes! Pipples. Oh, woo, we're gonna be crying. Oh my gosh, Teviston, I did not forget you. There we go. Thank you so much for you're here for the pipples. Okay, I feel like this needs it's not muted enough, so I'm gonna add some of the desaturated issue. How am I gonna do this? Let's see. You're an intellect. Oh my god. As long as there aren't any accidentally fish sticks on stream. No. Oh, the jokes. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna add just a smidge of flesh tan to my anemone. Oh my god. We're gonna see how things could go so wrong on the stream. Oh, fedora tip to you as well, my dear friend. Ah. Oh my gosh. All right, mix in some of this with some of that. So let's see. Ah, Catlyanne, whoa. 17 months. Whoa, it has been so long. Always learning. Thank you, Shoshie. Awesome. Give some hype to Catlyanne. I just love her 2 bits and awesome. There we go. And Kat, you've been subscribing at the tier 3 level for a long time now, and I don't know if you know, but if you get some time, you can always you know, send me a message to get in on the oh, there we go. That's what I needed. I needed that lighter color we're gonna glaze that lighter color. But anyway, send me a message if you want to do the coaching at the tier level. People who are subscribing can get a 30-minute free video coaching of any kind of model they want to work on or anything. Hi, Artie Wolf. How's it going? So we've been having a funny stream, I think. This is not the right color. I feel like I think I'm gonna desaturate all the way and see what happens when I go real. Yeah, something. Actually, I like that a lot. That's a good look on that. We've already got those dark. Yeah, that looks pretty good. You're having a good day. You won a mini from RN Studio, and so in their latest giveaway, that's cool. Oh, Bad Blood Boss. You can always put exclamation point paint if I'm being on the ball, but let me put it for you here. And you can check it out. It's Mediterraneo by Aradia Miniatures. They're an Italian company that I have bought things from before. This one is a personal piece. All right, I'm gonna see. Let's see if I can lighten up this purple. We're gonna keep this kind of muted and desaturated. All right, glasses are off. If you want to get my attention, I add Shoshie's minis in order to. There, I like that a lot actually. That's pretty. I'm using a scale color Polinsky #1, and I mixed my flesh color, this lightest color, with my darkest Eldandil purple from Scale Color also. And I think the flesh color is from Pro Krill, so. And I'm kind of thinking I might paint this almost like similar to hair. I'm not for sure. Just trying to get my lights in at first. That actually is starting to look pretty good. Remember to put @Shoshie Minis. Yeah, there we go. Aradia is one of those companies whose models tempt and intimidate me. Yeah, no, I think when I first started painting, the thing about Aradia miniatures, don't let them fool you. They're so well done, they almost paint themselves. This one here was sculpted by Joaquin Palacios, and he's a Spanish sculptor. He's probably a master sculptor of our time. He's like the Michelangelo, in my opinion, the Michelangelo of sculpting. And so I feel like a lot of the things Aradia makes are a lot easier than they seem. There's a little cat hair back behind his booty. Let me see. I don't think I have any tweezers. See if I can brush it out. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just pushing color right now into the recesses, so that way I get those dark recesses. I'm going to brush a little bit onto the model as well, because there's going to be a little bounce light that was going to maybe reflect onto his scales, shining scales. That'll be nice. See how that looks? If he has shiny scales, it's gonna be like almost like a metal. I don't know if I can get a non-metallic metal look on him or not. There we go. So unfortunately, what's going on right now is the model is kind of slick from being painted a couple times with P3 paint, which is a more satin paint. So I'm having a little trouble getting the color to grip. Okay, let's smooth. Try to smooth anyway, so we have less to cover. Has very little base coat on it at all, so I'll be adjusting. I'm liking that. Alright, I see my name. Good job. Hardy Wolf says, you can do it. Awesome. Fish cheeks, yes. Kind of. Kind of. He does kind of have fish. There's no crack, but there is volumes. Absolutely. All right, I want to show you guys. Hold on one second. Where is my? So I want to show you how to mix your own. I want to show you how to mix your very own olive green. Okay, so that you can get a verdaccio kind of skin tone. This is a yellow ochre. Okay, that's what I'm going to start with. I got this off of YouTube. I was like, oh, hey, that's super handy. Here's a little black. You're probably thinking, Shoshie, black and yellow? How does that make green? I don't know, but watch. It's something about how black is not a true color. It's usually a bunch of colors mixed together. So usually it brings out the green when you're mixing it with yellow. And we need a little white. Where's my white? And of course, it's not to be seen. Okay. Bear with me while I hunt out my white. There it is. There we go. I'm going to put a little white on the side. And that is bold titanium white. So that's the kind of white you want. All right, now we're gonna mix. We're gonna take some black and we're gonna mix some yellow. Now that got real desaturated at the same time. I wanted that slightly more green. That's gray. We're gonna mix more yellow in there. There we go. It needed more yellow. And then we're going to mix a little white over here. Okay, there we go. So Verdaccio is an Italian Renaissance painting technique. So obviously, being around since the Renaissance, I did not invent it. And the idea behind it is that you do a whole bunch of underpainting with this kind of dead colors. And actually, I want to use more of a true ochre. Let's see what happens when I do this instead of... There we go. Try this with a little bit of black now. Ooh, still the same. All right, so we're getting that. It is a very desaturated green color. I like to add just a little bit more blue in mine so that it's a little bit more, there we go, more like an olive green. That's better. And I'm just gonna paint pretty much most of his back with this green color. Okay. That's gonna be my base. And you guys have seen me do this before on smaller models. It's nice to be able to see it done on larger models. We're gonna get all of the... Now, I originally started his skin with a blue base, which you can also do, but it's gonna get different tonalities for sure. I'm gonna go back over this with my green. And I'm gonna go back and forth with my lighter colors, right, to get some of the whatchamacallits, the volumes, right? We're gonna establish some of the volumes right away. Okay, there we go. We got some, it's nice and matte. Unfortunately, the front, I'm gonna add a smidge of the satin medium to this. This is by Chimera, a little satin medium, so that way, got some on my hand. That way this, because in the front it's very satin, so we want to keep it very similar, right? And I wanted to point out, I broke his first finger and I had to use another model that I had an extra piece of. It was that extra Mama Buho model that I had to try and fix him. Let's go up into his neck. Okay, I'm not trying to mess with too much of the front of him. We'll get it all worked out. This is all underpainting. Get that under there. Need to water this down just a smidge. All right. I want to make sure to get all of that hand. So the idea behind this is that you have this green, woo, Artie Wolf, subscribing at the tier 1 level. Thank you. Oh wait, Steve A. Texas gifted Artie Wolf. Wow, thank you, Steve. And let's give some hype to both of them. That's awesome. Now you can use my gecko emotes, Artie Wolf. That's awesome. Yay! Thank you, Day Ray. How are you? I'm surprised and happy to see you here. Is this, I don't think this is the first time I've seen you in my channel. but I could be wrong. Cement says, see, it took me gifting a sub by the most wonderful person to get here to get the train rolling. Oh, that's so great. All right, his back is really matte now, so that's going to be interesting. Yes, all the gecko emotes. Yay. All right, glasses are off real quick. I'm going to paint his hand green so I can get that base coated. This is going to serve to be our neutral kind of a neutral background. Now, the color theory behind this is that the peaches and the greens kind of cancel each other out a little bit, and it makes some of the orange in the skin tone not be quite so intense. Frank Taito is following. Thank you. Welcome. How are you? Okay, I'm going to paint a little bit of his booty down in here, just a little bit. And because this hand kind of got all chipped up in the process of rattling around in my studio, I'm just going to paint it all over again with the dark green. And look at that. The fake finger that I made him is now concealed. Can't even tell. Can't tell that it's not sculpted by Joaquin. But Joaquin probably knows because he actually bent the finger. The original had a little bit more of a bend to it, but I'm not so talented with 3D or modeling. I'm really not talented with modeling, or skilled rather. All right, that's looking good. I want to get all the crevices. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this peach on top here. So we're going to end up, I'm going to add my highlights also because he needs to pop a little bit more. All right, we're waiting for that to dry. I'm going to pick all the little flecks of paint and crap that got on here. There we go. Let's do a little blue up here. I want him to appear more fish-like. Oh! Aw, Steve, thank you so much for those bits. Wow, give some hype to Steve. Thank you. You didn't notice the cat emoji? Yeah, we've got the cat stretch because I've got 2 cats now. Let's do some hype. There you go. Thank you. We've got the cat emoji. We've got gecko emojis. We've got a lot of emotes now, which for the channel's really come a long way. All right, I want to just add the smidge of ink to the top of the anemone just to see how that pops that a little bit, that little brightness. So but look at the purple is still kind of heavier than the rest, so it lifts him up in a way. Now I'm just still sketching, getting in all my, trying to get my little values in here. There we go. Ooh, that's too much. Probably too much. Well, maybe not. kind of dotting that in there so I can make it feel like a sea anemone anyway. All right. I can't look at him and not laugh whenever I see him with his little face cracking me up. All right, we're ready to do the back. We've got our Verdaccio. We got our underpainting. I'm gonna give him a little bit of yellowish kind of modeling to establish a little bit of my volumes. Right? The idea is you kind of sketch all this in and then you're going to add your flesh tones over the top. And I haven't tried this with the more yellowy part before, so it might not work out, but it's going to be okay because ultimately he's kind of fishy, so it's okay if he's a little bit more blue than the average human, right? And it is the back. It's a good place to experiment with some new techniques that we've not tried. I don't know if I told you this, but I highly recommend if you've not tried something before. This might be our new technique. Technically, it's not entirely new. The bingo square is try a new technique. I've not tried full value sketching on stream like this. Look at that. So it's already getting the values and the volumes. You can add a little white in there. Get a little bit more. Bop, 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 bop. See how that? Bop, 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 bop. Now, I currently don't have my glasses on. So when I'm painting this, it's all kind of blurred together, right? That's a good thing when you're trying to kind of just sketch, because it helps you quote unquote see kind of, because it's blurring everything. It's almost like a low res. And then when I come in here, maybe with a smaller brush, I might do, let's see if I can find a brush that will work for this. Let's do this Raphael right here. Raphael number 1, 8404. We're going to take some of this other green here that we had, and we're going to glaze, glaze some of that, so we're blending it, kind of backward blending in a way, right? We're sketching it on and then blending it after the fact. This is one of the things, if you guys watch me paint with Flickster, I was kind of trying to encourage him to do, is that, you know, get the colors in first and then come back. Let's add a little white to that. Pop, pop, pop. That whole top of that arm is gonna have a lot. Oh, I totally missed the green on the top of the arm. Get that back in there. So I was gonna say the whole top of the arm is going to have lighter colors, because I've decided the sun is coming from 2 o'clock. So that whole top of that arm is gonna have some, not only some warmth, but some intensity as far as where the light is hitting it, right? We're establishing our light. Thank you for using my name. I can see it. Artie Wolf says, this is another, I think it should be. I'm thinking it should be like practice a new technique. Because I've used only green, but I've never tried with the range of ochres and stuff. And I did find that technique on YouTube. Was it today? It might have been today. I looked up Verdaccio. Anybody can look it up. Verdaccio painting. And look under the the fine art section, not the miniature section, because it is a fine art technique. Now, it's gonna look like junk before it looks good. I'm gonna get some nice brights. Remember, I started this mini maybe 4 years ago, maybe 3, I'm not sure. All the cat stretches. Is it cat stretch time? Oh, he just said that. Let me know if it's 3:30. It is almost cat stretch time. Yes, this is the ugly duckling stage. Yeah, you guys are gonna have a hard time visualizing it till I clean it up a lot. But now I'm kind of just glazing back all the sketchiness, right? I'm trying to blend it back in so that we're getting some of our volumes. If you can get everything colored in with the different values, right, before you even add, it's going to look like a Renaissance painting when we get done, and that's totally the idea that I have. This is called underpainting. That's what Verdaccio and Grisaille are. They're a school of underpainting that help you it's kind of the way that the fresco masters, this is how they learn to paint on a kind of a 3D surface and get those volumes and use some of the bas relief of the actual sculpture that's in the wall. So it's I think it's actually a great technique for there was some kind of bug on me. Oh my god, I don't know where that came from. Flying bug. Whew. I hope I killed it. Yeah, it's dead. I see it right there. It's like a little beetle. I just got scared. I know, right? Eeny Minnie's laughing at me. Whew. Guys, I have a little bit of a bug phobia, and I was not expecting that to drop out of nowhere. Well, we do have a lot of gecko stuff, and we got all of this. Hold on, I'll show you. We got all of this substrate and stuff that's all brand new, and who knows, maybe it could have come with the bag of substrate. So we're all awake. Wake up! Let's do a cat stretch while we're awake. Let's everybody get up. It's that time. All right, everybody get up out of your seats. Now you're awake. Stretch. Don't get stiff while you're sitting in your chair. To be fair, I would have screamed the same pitch if a bug flew in front of me. Yeah, it flew right on my hand. So, okay, take a drink. I killed it for sure. It's right there. Oh my god. Ah, that's awesome. Okay, just the roll of tape fell off. Now let's look at this again. Now that I'm gonna do overhead. Okay, so it's very sketchy, scratchy right now, right? But if you look at it from a distance, it's starting to, you can kind of see it, right? So now we need to go in and let's see what happens when we start adding some of our flesh tones over the top of this. Let's do black or brown. I think I'm using the satin. I don't know if this is going to work so well. I've always said before, don't mix satin with flat, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to do something I always tell people not to do, and maybe it won't work, but if it doesn't work, we can always go back to flat. Okay, glasses are off. We're going to take this slow. And see how thin this is? Part of the other reason why I wanted the satin is look at how this glazes out, and that's why, in fact, I probably should glaze. No, I think that's gonna work. See, the green takes out some of the intensity of the orange, right? Very different color than the other side though, so we need to do something about that. I'm gonna add a little bit of that flat white or flat color here. There we go. That's better. So here's what I did. I added some of the Pro Acryl. It's the, what color is this called? Pan Flesh. I added that to my black or brown, so it's not quite so orangey. It's closer in line with what I've got already. So, but the only problem is with the flat color, it's a little bit more opaque. So then we need to go a little bit more thin with this. I want that green. So imagine layers of stained glass, and that's what we're doing with each of the colors with our underpainting. It's gonna turn into a deep shadow, right? It's already looking kind of cool, huh? Just that little glaze. And if we need to smooth stuff out a little bit, we can go back in. I'm using a little bitty brush because I wanted more control. This is a 00. I'm going to use a little bit of my green to kind of mix with this just to smooth out some of the transitions so it's not quite so jagged. See how that looks? You guys, skin is my jam. I love painting skin tones. That's another reason why I wanted to paint this guy. Hey, Maharoon, how are you? Look, I don't know if you know, Dayray was here for a little bit. And also, we got scared by a bug. There was a bug in my studio. That wasn't fun. I'm going to use the brown underneath a little bit more. I'm going to add just a smidge of reddish color because that reddish color is actually really going to go well with that green to make a nice, deep, natural shadow. We can add a little bit of that burgundy. There's burgundy from Pro Acryl in here. There we go. We're going to add that in there in the shadow. Kind of just making this up as I go along. So this is definitely a new technique for me as far as another way of trying Verdaccio that I've not done before. Like that. It's not nearly as smooth as the other side. I noticed that. A little more chunky, but that's okay. We'll get it all worked out by the end of this. Give me 1 second, I'm going to check chat again. Underneath, I'm using the brown a little bit more. And a little bit more of this burgundy down here. Now I can mix it again with the green so we get some nice, not chunky transitions. I think what's the downside is that I think the back, they might end up being cooler looking than the front. We'll see. Sometimes that happens to me. Dayray says, I'm still here. You were snuggling with Kitty. Aww. I like the fact that this chat is full of cat lovers. That's awesome. Here, I just added some of that burgundy. And I'm giving that over here to the shadows a little bit. A little warmth so that he looks alive. I'm adding a little bit of blue in my shadows as well. And the blue is to cool things down. Because Caucasian skin tone has some blue tones in it. sometimes blue, sometimes green. I'm gonna add a little bit of satin over the top of him and see if that changes anything as far as the look of him. It's nice because the satin actually kind of makes it blend a lot nicer. Orcust Gaming just subscribed. Wow, 3 months. Thank you, Orcust. Is it Orcust or is it Orcust? Wait, Orcust. Orcust. I got it. Welcome. Thank you. Let me find my pen. Where'd it go? There it is. First one. Okay. How are you? Thank you for that. Welcome. I had a problem. I had no problem. Orcust. There we go. Sorry. You good drinking coffee and setting up some stuff? So I tried, I'm on this keto diet, right? And I tried this, there's a thing called bulletproof coffee. Well, I tried bulletproof tea today and it was actually really yummy. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before. Yes, hype for, oh, Orcust is also a streamer, so let's give him a shout out. Make sure I spell that name right. Okay, there we go. Yay, WOG. That's awesome. Do you like my censorship? Because I'm a partner streamer, we gotta censor certain anatomy. We had quite a few giggles over it earlier. Belly grin, nipple card, yes. I love it. All right, a little bit of burgundy in here. I'm gonna pull some of the flesh into his fish skin as well to help merge man and fish a little bit. Get some blues up in here too. Okay, get a little bit of this into that then. Like that. There's a part of me that really wants kind of almost a silvery look on his scales, but I'm scared that it'll look too cheap. It'll cheapen it. I also want him to photograph okay too, so I'm wondering if I should do that. We can figure it out. We can try another technique, which will be, we'll try stippling a little bit of the silver and see if that does anything. Looks like something you do with whipped cream and cherries. Oh, Orcust, inappropriate. That's so funny. I was like, what in the heck? And then I realized what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about the painting. So right now we are talking about the painting, and we're talking about glazing on top of Verdaccio, which is giving us these lovely lush skin tones here. And I'm painting this in a kind of a, almost like a, as if this were a canvas. style. Real loose and real sketchy and painterly at first, and we tighten up later. Except for my brush is not picking up enough paint because I've got too small of a brush right now to do what I'm trying to do. There we go, that's better. That's better. Okay. That burgundy really does kind of help neutralize some of that green a little bit and look really good together with the rest of the skin. See how it's starting to look like a body now? He's not so crazy green. Okay. Our belly buttons? No, we just did that to be over the top silly. Because this by itself it wasn't silly enough, right? That looks kind of not silly enough. So we needed to take it over the top and be like, bleh, he's got a little face on his belly. But belly buttons are not a TOS band from what I've been told. I mean, just the nipples, just anatomy. Okay, filling in the rest of this arm. I want to get some of that glaze in so you can really see what I'm talking about. That's such a beautiful sculpt, and you can really see that in Joaquin's figure. Wow, so good. I'm trying to see, I need to add a little blue now because in the front there's a lot more blue. So we're gonna add blue in some spots. Again, where we need to cool down under armpits, in the deeper shadows, you can put some blue. Let's get the rest of the glaze done and then we can see where we need to go. The sketch bit, right? We need to finish this part. I'm liking it though. Gosh, I love it. So, if anybody watched a certain show last night, I really enjoyed the ending. So despite what many people said online, that's all I'm going to say. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Of course, I'm one of those people that was weird and didn't actually watch the whole thing from start to finish in the first place. Yeah, there we go. Look at that beautiful back. So I'll admit something. I'm a little bit of a back girl. I don't know if that's a thing, but this is awesome. So happy about this. I don't know if anybody else out there is a back girl. We're gonna add this beautiful ink here to just pop these muscles. Man. Yeah, those are the only violation. Male shoulders? Are you kidding me? Or Chris, don't tell me that. That means the whole model's not allowed. Totally not the intent. It's supposed to look like googly eyes because I put eyes on his chest, Luminous. Male midriff. But Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go forward with this because I mean most of this is back, and I don't think that's a thing for the most part on Twitch. Yeah, you can't have feet. I know that's true. He doesn't have any feet, so we don't have to worry about that. we gave Orcus a shout out already. Thanks. All right, so let's see here. There's some. Remember, I'm highlighting in the direction of the light. So on this side, the light is coming from this side. So all of this side of the muscles get a little highlight. My goodness, he's pretty. This is why I bought this model, because this is the closest thing to a male pinup that they had at the time when I first got the idea that there needed to be some, because he's sort of a fish man that's still like, you know, okay. You know, I think that if creature caster, certain anatomy can be painted live on Twitch, then this should be okay as well, right? Right? Here we go. Oh my gosh. Think about how much time it took me to paint this. Think about it. It's awesome. It looks fairly natural, doesn't it? Now, let's go in with our secret ingredient, right? We have a secret ingredient when it comes to this that is going to meld everything together, that's going to make it look good. Before I do that, I need to really make sure all of my highlights are in there the way they want placed. Like, I don't want there to be a big line between, otherwise it's going to look like the muscles completely like split. There we go. Now it looks like one piece. There was way too deep of a shadow right there. There we go. All right, we're almost ready for the secret ingredient here. A little bit of burgundy down here. A little bit of burgundy. Much better. Okay, ready? Where is my Reichland Flesh Shade? I like that because there is a little bit of matte medium in it. A little bit. It's matte medium, or it's got something in it that actually kind of helps melt those colors together like we need to. Oh, the Gorn. Yeah, we had the Gorn. Gorn was tape in the mouth and on the booty. You could wear a bikini as long as you're at the beach, so take that with a grain of salt. I understand no streamers' feet. Anything else is ridiculous. Human form makes you angry. Make it illegal. That's so funny. All right, this is Reichland Flesh Shade. Now I want you to see what's going to happen here. We're going to put this over the top, and look at that blended beauty. And that also, this goes into the crevices, right? I probably would put way too much on there. Let me scrape some of that off. We don't want too much or it's gonna look fake. Put that all over. It just kind of acts like a filter. See, I'm pulling this out of the crevices. We don't want it to exactly pool in the crevices like that. So I'm kind of pushing it around. Don't let it tea stain, so kind of keep it moving on the body. Okay, bam. That looks pretty good. Now that needs to dry. So what I'll do is I'm going to throw that under a hairdryer real quick. Gotta go. All right, Cements Casual, thank you so much. Welcome. Come back again. It's amazing. Okay, yeah, that's amazing. Wait until it looks even better in person. Hold on, I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to hairdry this. So let me give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. There we go. So it looks really dark on the screen. This camera is lying a little bit. Now we need to go back in. It looks a little streaky. We need to go back in with our top glazes and pick out those last little bits of highlight. And I'm going to use some of the satin medium with this. It will also blend beautiful. Now I'm trying to stay fairly smooth here. I'm not so much sketchy anymore. That's pretty. I like that. That's pretty. It doesn't quite look the same. We're gonna have to go back and repaint his chest a little bit. I think it will be fairly simple though. I don't think it'll be too difficult. I'm pushing a little bit of the satin medium into the dark shadows too, so they're not so matte either. Hopefully that will dry a little bit satin like I want it to. Beautiful. This sculpt, I need to do everything I just did on the front now, because look at how that turned out. Now it's not meant to look super duper ultra, smooth. It's meant to look a little bit painterly. I don't want to see lots of green. Green should kind of melt into the shadows, right? If you've got lots of green, like this is right here is too much green. So I'm gonna just give it a little glaze, right? Just there. That's better. Sometimes I've had my students, they just don't quite get the idea behind it's less because they don't understand how the skin tone effect is supposed to work, and more because they don't quite understand how to create volume volumes on shapes like this. Okay, that's looking really good. Believe it or not, there's still so much to be done. But we got the base of the colors in here. Let me see, I'm gonna add, okay, now we need a little pastel yellow. Let's see if I've got something. This is not a pastel yellow. Okay, watch what happens. Pastel, here we go. Terrana yellow. Those back breasts are inappropriate. I know, right? Does anybody happen to know offhand what these muscles are called? These back wings that they call on men? I just love them. Definitely have the back looking better than, well, there is 3 or 4 years difference between the painting in this and the painting in this. I'm going to say that. All right, this is the yellow that I'm talking about right now. We're just going to, very small highlights. Oh, we got another subscriber. Hold on one second. I got to get this blend or I'm going to mess that up. That's pretty. Okay. Who subscribed? Let me see. Nicholas, 6 months. Hope you're having a great day. We're having a good day. Oops. We're having a good day. Nicholas, how are you? I actually knew a guy who's named Nikolai. Hawkswalker's now following. Hello, Hawkswalker78. Welcome to the chat. Nicolas. I'm really terrible with Roman numerals, so this might be, is this 7? This is 7, right? Nicolas 7? Nicolas 7? I'm not sure. You're doing good. Awesome. Laticius dorsi. Bad Blood Boss, you were the man. How? Did you know that or did you Google it? Spear's here. Just wait until Twitch finds out you're watching naked. Oh my gosh. Look at how he's starting to already feel and look like a 3D Renaissance painting. That's the whole idea. Now we're doing the pastel yellow. This is to mimic like sunlight and some of the lighter effects of I don't want to lick my brush too much. It's yucky. Right? Some of the lighter effects of the sunlight hitting the muscle. You barely need any of the adjuster colors. That's the colors that I like, the light blue, the magenta, the cyan. These are the colors that I call adjuster colors, and you hardly need any to kind of make your point with the light on this, right? Look at that, lovely. And again, we can go back over this and glaze this again with the black or brown a little bit to bring that in line, make that a little less intense. Black or brown is a nice kind of homogenizing glaze. There we go. It's pretty. Oh, I love it. Tiny bit of yellow over here, over here. Blend, 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 blend. Blending, blending. Love, love. I think that actually should have been a lot darker because, there we go. Black or brown made a nice transition into that. All right, let me look and see how it looks like on camera. Nice, it looks good. This, for some reason, this is way darker. Oh, maybe because I've got my, hold on, I've got my, what you call it? my contrast is way up, so it looks very, very dark in there. Got a little tiny touch of purple in there, just a smidge to kind of offset some of that yellow. Ooh, I like it, and it adds a little life to them too. Just a smidge of that. All right, I'm gonna go adjust my contrast just a little bit because it shouldn't look that different. Yeah, hold on one second. Let's put this up here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and eyeball that. All right, that helped. I think that looks a little more natural, a little more actually like how he actually looks. Oh no! We took off his little, his little things. We're gonna have to reapply his coverings. Oh no! All right, give me 1 second. Can't be having him flash in the world, can we? Beer says you have some heads to practice painting faces. You want to try this technique? Would you paint face? Yeah, I would paint faces the same way. There's a slight difference, and I'm going to show you here in a second. I'm going to finish making this little cute face here. Ah, I'm going to make him smile. There we go. So let me explain something about faces. First, we got to do this real quick. Do the, there we go. Googly eyes. Okay, so how do I show you on a face? All right, here we got a face, right? We got the nose, mouth, eyes, right? Okay, eyebrow. Okay. When you're painting a face, your glazes, you need to think about your glazes. So you're gonna put cool, like if this is a man's face, let me put this up a little bit. There we go. If this is a man's face, you're gonna have a cool zone pretty much from here. Let me see if I can do blue. Now this is my glaze, right? I'm going to have a cool zone right here. You're going to glaze that over your existing shadows, right? For the blood vessels, kind of to give them a little life. I don't know if I have enough red in this. Let me try a little bit of magenta and see if that works. That's magenta-esque. There we go. It's a little pink. It's supposed to be more of a magenta glaze. So you're going to have it on the ears, right? Because that's where the blood vessels are. I'm going to exaggerate this. You're going to make this a glaze, not a straight up paint, right? And then you're going to glaze like the ends of the nose, right? Because noses have blood vessels on the ends of them. And on the cheeks. Even if it's a man, he's going to have a little bit. And if it's a woman, she's going to have a lot more. And you can actually make it more red, right? But there's basically a red zone, right? And then also there might be a little bit of coolness in the eyes, maybe, depending on kind of what expression you're giving your mini, how big the faces are. And then lastly, you're going to do your final glaze like This is going to be like, this is the yellow glaze, right? Under the eyes, there's sort of a yellow zone. Now I got this from the book Fagone by Jeremy Bonamont. I think that's how I say his name. He's a French painter, I think. Could be wrong. But anyway, he talked about these 3 different zones to kind of that, and also a whole figure will have sort of the zones as well, right? With the lightest and the mid and then the darkest shadow, right? We kind of got that going on here, where we're having lightest and then the mid and then the darkest, right? Pasties are against TOS. All right, well, is Sticky Tack against TOS? Are you guys gonna give me crap about this? Don't even. Hello, Lady B Miniatures. Oh, I'm adorable. Thank you. You're joking. Okay, because sarcasm doesn't play on the text. All right, but anyway, this is basically kind of how you're gonna do your colors. Now see how we did his back. He's got reds, he's got blues, he's got yellows, right? And then they've all kind of mished together a little bit. Over here, this one is too much yellow, so I'm calming that down with a glaze. I'm trying to blend that in. Ultimately, I want everything, because it's almost like an impressionistic painting, right? Your mind is going to not see some of the brush strokes, but if you look close enough, it's 100% not blendy blended, right? And that's okay, because that's the style we're doing. So now I'm going to go and do the same thing, sort of try to blend this into the front. There's a big difference, which I'm going to have to try to paint the front. Okay, we need to blend this in. Do a little bit of blending into his fish skin, just a smidge. I like that. A little bit of fish booty. Okay. There we go. Now I'm just trying to blend everything into the front to back. The biggest difference that I'm noticing with coloring is I did do kind of this blacker brown in spots, and also the I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the, yeah, that's the biggest difference. That'll kind of join the front and the back together a lot. Put that Agrax, or it's not Agrax, sorry, it's pull this off. Pull some of this Reichland Flesh Shade off of there to warm up things, right? So whenever the music gets super fast like this right here, it's so hard for me to kind of slow it down. There you go. That's better. Trying to blend the fish with the man just a little bit so he doesn't look completely, so we're just mixing the blue with the flesh color. There we go. It's starting to feel more natural that way. All right, let me check chat. I see a lot of my name. Thanks. The book is Figipedia Color and Light. I think it is. Yes. It's from thegone.com. You can find it on his website, Thegone. All right, over here, got a little bit of, there we go. I'm gonna pull this off and I'm gonna kind of paint this a little bit off stream so I can get things on here without getting a strike or anything. I like that. All right, back it goes. Alrighty, that looks good. He's so much more warm, so we're gonna add some of this beautiful yellow back here. I thought I originally wanted to make him more of a cold fish kind of guy, right? So, but it's not working out. I'm making him more warm than I thought I was gonna do. By the way, blame the folks from earlier in my stream for the silliness of his décolletage, right? Because they thought that this was perfect. They thought it was funny. I thought it was funny too. All right, a little bit of yellow. Remember, the little yellow goes a long way. Too much. See, it's already too much. Get it. Kill it with the black or brown. Give me a second again. I'm going to blend again. I'm digging the kind of warm tan that he's become. Well, he is outside all day, right? Even though he's an old man. Starting to bring those colors together. You're back for a bit. Awesome. Welcome back. A little bit of yellow over here. Little tiny bit right here. Remember, the sunlight's coming from this side. Now watch, remember what we talked about? How we're going to put a little bit on his forehead because that's the yellow zone. Right? And then we're going to give him just a smidge of the, woo! A raise 13. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. I'm just going to tap the end of his nose just a little bit with that burgundy. See if I can get kind of a darker red going. And on his cheeks, I'm using the burgundy instead of like a hot magenta because it's going to be a little bit more manly, I think. Maybe. See how alive he gets now? He doesn't look dead. And we're going to do his ears. Put a little bit of that pink in there, a little bit of that magenta touch. Remember, a tiny bit goes a long way with these. Oops, see, that is crazy. That went too far. Kill it. If you go too far, blaze it back. And now he's looking alive, though. He's not going to have the blue so much because he's already got a beard. But you can put a little blue maybe here in the creases of his neck where there might be a little cold shadow. Now I'm going to put a little in his armpit. This is where the cold colors come in right here, cooling things down. I'm going to put a little bit here. Actually, let me see what happens when I do the pink by his little gills. Nope, I don't like that. I'm going to go back to blue. I think it looked more natural blue. Yeah, that looks awesome blue. That looks very fish-like. And do some blue under here. Okay. It's looking more cohesive now. A little bit, a little bit. Glazing that black or brown over stuff so that I can kind of, again, bring it all together. Since the light is coming from this way, I'm going to just highlight a little bit of the gills on the top here with a little bit of the yellow. And this part of the pectoral muscle right here. Get some of the regular flesh tone color back as well. All of these little, does anybody know what these little bitty muscles here on the side are called? I know they have a name. They're like itty bitty little muscles. We're gonna give each one of those a little bit of a highlight. And whatever this is called the Adonis belt. It's kind of awesome that this fish man has one. We're giving those highlights on that side. It makes a big difference. We can kind of give him a little bit of a six-pack that he doesn't quite have down here. Wait, 1, 2. Yeah, he's kind of got a 3-pack right now, but we can give him a few extra muscles if we wanted to define that a little bit. I don't like an overly defined guy. I feel like it doesn't look as natural. It looks like he hasn't had a carb in a while, which is probably likely unless he's eating a lot of kelp. Obliques. You guys are awesome. I love anatomy muscles, all that. Like learning that kind of stuff. I think it's important to know your terms. Obliques. See, now when we get that yellow, that's really popping there, isn't it? It's giving that Renaissance quality. I'm just gonna see what happens when I just use a skosh, a little tiny bit of white. Boom. Oh my God, that makes it look really beautiful, Renaissance-y. Oh, okay, now I gotta do it everywhere. It's the smallest. I'm probably going past, you know, like you know how you can get ahead of yourself a little bit? I'm just getting ahead of myself a little bit with this little bit of highlighting on everything. Do a little bit on his end of his nose here. I'm gonna have to go back in and kind of sculpt out his scowl marks that are kind of got lost. He had some beautiful blue scowl marks. We could just paint those, freehand those back in, even maybe a little purple since it's in the yellow zone. Better, kind of. That'll take a little work. That's gonna be a little bit more difficult to do on stream. Sort of like you're making volumes where there aren't any. There's just little lines, that's it. Let me take a look. Remember to put at Shoshie's Minis if you're trying to get my attention. That way I know you're talking to me. There we go. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are, if this is interesting to you, if you guys are enjoying this, because I think the first time I painted him, I'm not so sure I didn't have a very big audience, and I don't know that people were all that into him. But maybe my skill level and my crowd size has changed. Thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear that because I am really enjoying him. He's really coming out nice. I'm liking the intensity that he's bringing here. All right, both of his hands are completely green and it's bugging me. So we're gonna go back in and we're gonna start from the beginning with our flesh tone and our glaze. And you're gonna treat these just like the rest of the muscles. I might even need to I'm using my 00 brush. I'm maybe needing to slow down a little bit on the hands because I tend to rush them and then they end up looking not so good. And the hands are a very expressive part of the body. Probably one of the second most expressive part of the body outside the face. So we're gonna highlight all the little joints on the fingers, right? Oh, you know what? We need to go back with our green tones, right? Our yellow tones, and get all those values in there, right? That's important. Leave that green in the shadows. Yeah, see, that's already looking kind of cool. Now these fingers are going to be slightly darker because they're kind of shadowed by each other. Oh, I love you guys with all your thumbs ups. You think the skin tone work alone is worth watching? Awesome. Well, you know what? I recommend watching more than one of my skin tone videos because you're going to learn something different in each one, right? And every time I do skin tones, I teach it a little bit differently. And I've learned something every time I've done it as well. The tip of the fingers nice and bright. See how that's starting to look like a human being almost? Okay, so now these little knuckles here are gonna have some brightness to them. And then the palm of his hand, I'm gonna add just a smidge of this rosy color here and a little bit of the burgundy, so that's a little bit more rosy. When you look at my hands, it's not the same color as the rest of my skin. They're loaded with blood vessels, so you're gonna have, I'm gonna add a little bit of this castor purple. It's more of a reddish color than it is a purple, but it'll give me a good little ruddy glaze that we need to have in his hands. I'm gonna mix it with my base tone. And we're gonna get that inside of the hand. Not too much. So notice there's pink. You can look at your own hand while you're painting it and see how the planes are shaded different, and on the inside how, you know, there's going to be like if this is like a little egg, then there's, you know, your shadows on this side and then your highlights on this side, right? So your sunlight's going to be right there. Definite thumbs up from you. Aw, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Makes me glad. I'm gonna add a little black or brown to thin that out, because sometimes Sometimes even the sculptor kind of chintzes out on hands and doesn't completely sculpt them perfect. That's okay. Okay, a little bit of that ruddy color over here. Let's see, I'm gonna give him that kind of ruddy color on his elbows. And again, anywhere where there are loads of blood vessels. Elbows, ears, knees. You can give him a little bit on his clavicle, just a smidge. So he appears a little bit more alive. And his ear, there we go. Whoa, just that little bit on his ear made him kind of come alive. He's looking fierce. Now he's starting to look, now look, if it's just that little bit of yellow that I put and stuff on his highlights, that made a big difference. So he needs a little bit over here, a little bit here too. And blend it. I'm very happy with how he's coming out. All right, we need a little bit on that side. And a little bit on this side too, because we lost his abdominal muscles a little bit somehow. There we go. And I'm gonna go back in and add some blue again up into his skin tone so he's not just half and half. There we go. Look at how different he looks with that hand. So that hand needs a little bit more flesh tone. It's looking a little too greeny yellow right now because I didn't glaze it enough. I gotta take my time because these things are so small. I don't want to rush. A little bit of highlight again on this side here. Bam! There's that hand. I'm going to put a little bit of brown in between that finger and that one just to separate those a bit, because that was where the fake finger got added. Same thing over here. Highlight it as if it's getting seen from all angles. You just don't know if a judge is going to look at it or what. Always try to paint to my highest ability. I'm going to add a little bit of that red back. Where I lost my red, there we go. So I'm going to add a little bit of red to the ends of my fingers. It will also cancel out some of that green. Knuckles. Knuckles have blood vessels, right? When I've got my knuckles. So when you're painting, think about skin is not opaque. Skin is absolutely translucent. And you can tell a story with the colors of the skin that you've got, right? All right, so that's good. Hands are generally darker, a little bit darker maybe than the rest. We can make that a little lighter with a little, let's see, I can do a little highlight. Yeah, because I don't want to draw too much attention to this hand by highlighting it too much, because I want people to go, maybe they'll look at the hand and then this face and then this what you call it, this sort of a trident thing. I don't know what it is. It's not a trident, but it's some sort of underwater fishing doodad. Looking good. I think it feels like it's the same thing. Oh, there is a little muscular vein. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that with the blue. Maybe a little of this kind of purple color. Let's see what happens when I do that. Oh. It doesn't look quite natural, so I need to use more of a teal. Bear with me. Maybe that's his fish stick. Yes, exactly, painting critics. Oh my God, that's so funny. Let's try this ultramarine, faded ultramarine blue. Let's see if that looks good as a, it'd have to be an undertone to this. Let's see. Veins are kind of funny. We're gonna paint the vein in his arm. I'm gonna look for other veins that he might have. Doesn't have a lot. He's got enough. Okay. So once you get the vein in, you've got to put a glaze of flesh tone over it for it to look a little bit natural, right? So because it's actually under, it's subdermal, fancy word. We want to keep it looking subdermal. There's some blue under there. Should be under there anyway. Cooling that area off because there's no sun, like desaturated. A little bit of yellow up here. Let's see, do I need yellow over here? Just a little bit, just a little bit. If this arm's sticking out a little bit, it's gonna have a little bit more yellow. All right, just that alone with this hand looks really nice. I'm happy with that. Get some more browns in here. This is too green. That's better. Try not to sneeze. There we go. All right, let's get this hand. That's gonna make a world of a difference. Okay, we did the yellow, right? The yellow from the ochre. When we first started, we painted in all of our values. Same thing again. Now there's a lot more light hitting this hand because this is the hand that's being held up to the light. Is it time for a cat stretch again? What time is it? Let me get in these values a little bit. I need to, all my paint dried out while we were talking. Here we go. No, it didn't. There we go. Little bits of yellow. There's some. Let's see what time it is. Maybe it's time for another cat stretch. I think it is. It is. We got 1 more hour. Everyone stand up, get up from your chairs. It's stretch time. All right, let's do a stretch and get a drink again. I'll tell you what, I can paint a lot longer and paint a lot more effectively, and when I get my little breaks. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. That's funny. He's certainly a lot more done than he was when I first started. That's true. We should work on the non-metallic gold and maybe the tail next time. Maybe that's what we'll do next time. All right, we're gonna do back on overhead. Let me get a drink real quick. You guys can get a drink too. There we go. There's no drink. There is like a hydrate. I think there's a Shoshie hydrate. Yeah, it's Shoshie hydrate. That's what it is. Stepped away and he lost his smile and googlies. Yeah, he's just got his... Yeah, he did lose his smile and googlies. We'll fix it, Falcon. Partly I was painting underneath them. That's partly why. Do. There we go. He's all googly now. That's so funny. All right. Let's see. Do you see how I painted the back of his hair blue? That's good because it's going to make painting the rest of his hair. Let's see if I can do some yellows and some whites. There we go. Oh, I like that kind of warm ivory a little better than the cold white. It goes better with his body for sure, that warmness. Let's see if I can put that in some spots. Something I was also taught, let me show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to add a little bit of blue here as if his beard and his skin, and actually add a little skin too. So we added the blue first, and now we're going to add a little skin into the beard, and it'll make it appear much more as if he is, you know, blended into his beard, and not so like beard face, right? It'll feel more natural. I'm gonna add just a smidge of purple, just a smidge, because down here is the red zone, remember? So it needs a little bit of color there. Oh, he's looking good. A little bit of the skin tone again into his hairline as well. Oop, that's too light. We need to add some blue to it. Maybe a little, yeah, that's better. All into his sideburns and everything. Need to get back that purple a little bit down here. that changed a lot, didn't it? That we needed that depth. We needed that depth, so when we go in and give him some very bright, nice highlights, it'll have some depth in him. We need to add a little bit of, I'm trying to mix a little bit of the blue and the reddish color together so we can get kind of a dark gray. We're going to push the contrast a bunch now on his hair. So he kind of has that kind of Moses 10 Commandments pow to him. You know what I mean? All right, get back there with the worm color again. Watch what's going to happen because we've been putting cool, cool, cool. And now we're going to go a little bit warm. Getting there. There's something on his, hold on, I gotta scrape it off his face. He's got something on his face. Right. Where is it? I lost it. I guess it was a, there you go. Don't lose my little shadow here. There you go. Now I'm using that kind of periwinkle blue. Ooh, I really like that. Holy cow, that's pretty. Ooh. Kind of like that. Wow. So I've been really having some revelations here, guys. I got to talk to you about this. So since I've been working on my Shelf of Shame miniatures, I have had some, I don't know how to describe it, but like, it's like you kind of fall in love with some of your pieces all over again. Does that make sense? Love that blue. Now I'm wanting to put a little bit of this blue in some other spots. Not too many spots because it looks like it's kind of opaque. Yeah, that's not a glaze at all. Hi, Grandler. How are you? It's been a while. Look, we're painting a model that we cannot show the anatomy on Twitch. Mind you, the guy that wears the top hats with the faces on their bellies. Exactly, only a ripped version. Exactly. Yeah, you're hiding. I'm hiding. Yeah. So this is what we painted today, the back. Mostly. And now look at this amazing body anatomy. Holy cow. Joaquin Palacios sculpted this. He's absolutely fantastic sculptor. Yeah, I love his work so much. All right, we're gonna get in here with some of the highlights. I'm gonna highlighting with the kind of cold blue, right? But we're painting it as if it's like in chunks. You don't want to paint each individual strand. It won't look right. See how that just made a bunch of volumes within the hair? Grendler, I have to tell you, remember that distracted model that I traded you for some chocolate and basically another model? I saw it when on eBay for over $300, and I'm like kicking myself because it's worth so much money now. So funny. Alexis Rain, how are you? Didn't know you're such a fan of Triton. Yeah, I would consider this model Triton for sure. Maybe not Triton, but because did Triton have he didn't have a mermaid tail? I would say this is Poseidon, right? Triton, Poseidon, same guys maybe. Look at how that face just pops. Look at that. Wasn't worth the completion of that commission in chocolate? Probably. Well, no, I wouldn't say. Even sent you extra chocolate so you wouldn't feel cheated? No, I know. Let me be really clear. I don't feel cheated. I just regret giving up that model because now that model's so hard to get now that I can't replace it easily. So if anybody wants to have me paint distracted, let me know because it's on my list and I probably won't get to paint it otherwise. So, but I don't need to own her, that's for sure. That's so pretty. Look at him. That's what I was going to scrape off. This part of his hair is like got some kind of something on it. Grendler, I don't know if you're going to travel too much in 2020, but I'm going to be in Eindhoven in the Netherlands for World Model Expo. And I don't think it's too far from you compared to me anyway. So it would be really cool if you ever decide to show up at Eindhoven and World Model Expo. No pressure. Like how I did that. All right, a little bit of white again. Small amounts of white to cover that. This white from the Creature Caster thing is pretty nice. I like it a lot. Had some spare parts for completion piece that I needed. Yeah, exactly. So basically what happened was I needed a model that was also at the time very difficult to get. It was the Cleric from Kingdom Death, and Grendler had it. And like I said, at the time, it was very difficult to get the Cleric. It had never been reprinted and it was rare. So we were trading rare model for rare model. But then like as soon as I got that model in the mail from Grendler, they re-released a encore of the model I was trying to get from Grendler, which was kind of hilarious because if I just would have waited like a week, I wouldn't have needed to trade. But it worked out really well because at the time I really needed the model and Grendler had it, and we traded for chocolates, and it was a friendship trade too. So it was like, you know, I knew I was probably not going to get around to painting her. So I didn't feel too bad about it. Definitely not a big deal. And I'm sure that if I put the word out, you know, somebody will say, hey, I'll let you paint my distracted for me. That'd be great. And you know what? The other thing is that, watch, as soon as I paint her, they'll re-release her as an encore too, and then she won't be nearly so rare either, which that's my hope, because Boots is pretty good about that kind of things, re-releasing stuff. There we go. Let me do some more. A little white over here. I feel like I need some ivory again. We need some kind of warm colors. Oh, there we go. So good. Just that little bit of sun right here in his hair, you know? I don't know why, but that warm color just pops right off of his head, doesn't it? It's because of the cool. Warm colors come forward and cool colors recede. Sorry, there's some extra chipped paint right there that I needed to work on. That's pretty. I love it. I love it. Do a little bit of that light color on his beard too. Remember not to paint white. Don't paint white too much, because white should be the last color that you paint. I'm gonna do just a smidge of pink so it feels ultra renaissance-y. I'm gonna take that out. There's too much. Red is a loud color. You gotta be careful how often and how much you use it. That's better. Okay, let me look at chat again. You're gonna travel to Golden Demon next year? Is that the one in Adepticon? Or are you gonna go to the one in England? I'm a meme. Wait a minute. What do you mean I'm a meme? I need to see this. Painting critics, what have you done? Old Minis Shoshie. Yes, I love it. New hotness. Exactly. I think that's very accurate. That's what's happening, is I'm kind of falling in love with my old minis. So funny. Need to get in there with a little bit of that gray. There we go. A little bit darker than that. I'm gonna put a little skin tone back again into his hair, right? We don't want him receding too much, but we'll end up filling that out a little bit again with the white. There, now it looks like his hair, it made a difference. Look at, especially right here where there's peach going into his hair. It feels like he's got hair. Oops, see, that's too much with that blob. All right, let me look at chat. No, England? Oh, nice. It's out there now, the meme will never go away. It's true, it's true. Hey, Head Crash, thank you for the follow, welcome. There you go, right there, mad love. We're painting Poseidon. Actually, his name is Mediterraneo. Mediterraneo. We're gonna do exclamation point paint for let people know. Hold on. Exclamation point paint. There we go. That is the model that we're painting right now. The one that is in the store does not come with the awesome Poseidon head, because that was an exclusive that you could get only if you were the first 30 people to order this model to do the pre-order, and I was one of the 30. Nya nya. Like, I saw this model and I jumped on it. I was like, oh, I need it. I definitely want that one. Let's get in here some of this gray. Let's get it. Love it. Okay, more white, more yellow. Remember, again, I said paint your hair in chunks. There we go. See that yellow really pops up there. Loving it. The yellow and the blue are kind of mixing with the eye and kind of making a little bit of a green a little bit, and that's actually like kind of cool considering he is Poseidon. This is a very textured hair. I should do the rest of that hand, shouldn't I? So does anybody have any questions for me while I've, since I've been painting this guy? Does anybody have any ideas or any kind of things to ask me? Now's your chance, because we've got about a little bit over a half an hour left. You can try to ask me about Verdaccio. You can try to ask me about like what I'm gonna do with the rest of him, that kind of stuff. You have to go rustle up some dinner. All right, you have a good one. Yes, it is about dinner time for those of you East Coasties. Now I'm adding again back into the ruddy color for the hands. There we go. This part is where the most light's going to be. But I'm also going to blend that, glaze it over that green. You know what, it occurred to me I didn't even do my Reichland flesh shade over the top of my hands at all. I guess I could still do that. Take care not to accidentally go into the crevices on your fingers, because you want to leave that green as your shadow. I'm going with a little bit more of the blacker brown this time. I'm going to blend it and glaze it into the wrist, but remember, there's a little bit of We're leaving some of that green on there. Not too much, but a little bit so that it becomes the shadowed area where his gauntlet is hiding his hand. There we go. Now he's alive. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of the regular skin tone. Right, because this is where the light is going to be hitting the most. Go back in with the yellow. Oh, did I get paint on my dress? There we go. You have a question about my gorgeous Instagram site. Where can you get the cool models, or did you sculpt them? Head Crash, I need you to send that link to one of my mods, like Enlamunas or RD Wolf, one of the, or Cat Leanne if she's still here. Any of my mods can send that to me, and I can tell you where most of my Instagram pictures, it will say in the description, most of them. I might have left some off, but I really try to credit companies, manufacturers, sculptors, other artists as much as possible when I'm putting it real quick. I gotta say, let me put that light right on the top of that hand. It helps complete that volume. But like I said, if you look in the description, sometimes there's already a thing. And if one of my mods isn't available, Head Crash, yeah, whisper the link to Enlamunas. That would be awesome. Just doing another little glaze of the regular skin tone over that. Now I need to do a little of the red because the fingers are a little bit ruddy, right? Fingertips. A little bit, just a little bit, and a little bit on the back of the hand, but not too much. Just enough to make it look alive. All right, goodness, we did so much today, didn't we? We really refined the body of this guy, didn't we? Looking good. A little bit of that ruddiness on his elbow there. So that's looking alive. A little bit on his chest. A little bit. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the brown, a little bit of the burgundy here. I'm going to go around the edge of his gauntlet. I feel like I need something even darker, maybe a little black. Try that. I don't want to use too much black or brown because it'll look cartoony. But around the spots where the metal is touching the flesh, I want a defined shadow. Right? A break. I want a break there. I'm using a little red, a little black, and a little brown. There we go. Did we get a link yet? Nope, we didn't get a link. Head Crash, you gotta post a link to one of my mods. Alright, I'm especially using the red now because that's gonna make a nice dark tone to my non-metallic gold that's going to be coming up here. This is the burgundy that is getting laid in here right now. Look at what a difference now that we've separated out the armor. Ooh, I just noticed this big green mess right there. Ooh. All right, let me go back in. Gotta glaze back some skin on top of his arm. This whole part right here. There we go. Much better. There's my yellow. Yellow plus skin tone. That blue on that vein. Too obvious right there. Let's see if I can glaze the skin on it. There we go, that's better. Now that embeds it into the skin much better. Okay. He feels good, guys. I'm really happy with them. Let's do the darkness on the metal real quick. You're right. You found something in the description. Awesome. Good, good. Okay, so you don't need it. Yeah, I almost always try to credit. So if you can't find a description, message me because I will put one in if I forgot. For sure. Now I'm going back in with my dark burgundy and brown. And I'm going to add the darkest highlights in here. For my, so the black and the burgundy. It gets to be the dark contrast we need. Okay. Now, you guys may know this already about me. I'm not so good at non-metallic metal, so I just kind of attempt to fake it, right? Like rule of cool, right? We'll just do that with this. So if you think about the light, and this is a cylinder, we're going to sketch in our light first, right? So we're going to add a little bit of a bright, there we go, highlight, and there'll be another one on this side. Gonna be right on top probably, and then maybe a bounce light down here. So that. And then we'll need to like basically kind of bake it in between. Does that means all these little ridges and stuff are gonna get their own highlights. Everybody's gonna get a highlight. All the edges. One thing about non-metallic metal, all the edges get a highlight. And actually I think, do I want this to be a bronzy gold? I think I do. Yeah, we'll keep it the bronzy gold like it is. Try to get all these little swirl effects in here that are already on the model sculpt. And then we can add some white down the center, right? those little dings that metal has, especially gold, because gold is really shiny. Now, when you're having a reflection, it's gonna get wider at the top, right? It's supposed to be wider at the top, maybe, and then more narrow at the bottom. I'm not sure how that works exactly on this, but get the ochre in there because we've got too much. There we go. It's starting to look kind of metal, huh? Not exactly. I feel like it's missing a color. Does anybody have any ideas? Let's do I don't want to do orangey, so I'm gonna do, do the burgundy, or the burgundy maybe? No, the burgundy's not gonna work. We gotta go orangey. Let's do a little bit of actual orange, and we'll mix it together to get with the burgundy. See, that's really orange, so that will probably need to be desaturated down. There we go. Let's see what I did. I mixed the two there together. Mix a little yellow to there. Let's see what happens when I add that. My little bit of gold. Not quite. Actually, I don't mind it too much. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. Not there yet, though. Making non-metallic metal is kind of an intellectual kind of process that I'm not so good at. Better. We're getting it. We're getting it little bit by little bit. That's looking nice. I like that. That feels pretty close. We can always fix it later. We can fix it more. And the yellow ochre. There we go. This is probably going to be the hardest part of the model for me. Again, like I said, I'm not so good at a non-metallic metal. I just know most important thing, paint the edges. Paint the edges. Spot over here. A little bit of white now. I think that's where I messed up on the other side, is I kind of added too much white everywhere, and it doesn't look quite real. That's not bad. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. Actually, it does look pretty gold to me. That side looks more real. This side we gotta do. All right, I can tell we're switching into time zones. We're losing a little steam, aren't we? Chat's kind of gone away. Pop up if you're in chat. I'd love to see you. There we go. Everybody must be painting, right? You guys are all working hard? Still here. Awesome, Grandler. Grandler, do you have any advice on this gold? I don't know quite if I'm hitting it exactly or not. Trying to get the reflections. Get the white in there. That's better. Geckos. Hey, Artie Wolf. I saw some painting and lurking. Yeah, and NMM. I feel like I got this side okay. That feels like it's metal gold to me. Here's a stronger mid-tone. I agree. Okay, stronger mid-tone. Stronger mid-tone. Let's do this burgundy in the middle here. We had some of that orange in there too, so let's put that back there. I'm looking back to see, like, what did I do to make this first part work so well? There we go. Let's try this. Back. We want to go back a little bit. Hey, Rafu, how's it going? This mini is from, look at the back, so good. Aradia Miniatures, we'll do exclamation point paint. Robosh says, made a start of my Mythic Battles Pantheon. Started Atlas. This is similar to, it's not Mythic Battles, this is like I think this is like a 80 mil figure, a 75 or 80 mil. Anyway, here's the mini that we're painting right now. We're painting, what's his name? Mediterraneo. Yeah. He is from Aradia Miniatures, Aradia. Thank you for the advice on Facebook. Awesome, Robosh, I'm so glad. Yeah, guys, anytime you need some kind of help, just message me on Facebook. I am happy. I'm usually happy if I'm not in the middle of something major. I will be happy to tell you guys. Yeah, that needs to be right there. I'll be happy to assist. That's not working. Ugh. I think I'm gonna just leave it. Let me get the, maybe it is this does need the stronger mid-tone here. Kind of better. Let's try ink, because ink is a very strong mid-tone. Or it's not a mid-tone, it's a shadow. We're gonna try the ink to try to get in here and really establish these shadows. Sometimes I have to go really dark in order to get my mid-tones back. There we go. See, I don't know why that looks good, but gotta get in there, huh? That looks amazing. That side looks happy. It's the contrast. That's what it is. I think I got too much mid-tone now. Paint the mid-tone back. There we go. Bear with me. You gotta let that dry. Let's do this side over here. We're gonna get the ochre in there. We're gonna do this highlight right here. This is where I would put a highlight if I were a highlight. Remember, you gotta kind of sketch in all the stuff. Here's another one right here. That's gonna look good. Maybe another little one. That's gonna be good. I think that's gonna be really good. So what am I using? You're addicted to your scale 75 at the minute? Oh, Rapid, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Mad love. So I'm currently using a mixture of scale 75 and the Pro Acryl by Creature Caster / Monument. These are awesome paints, and so are the scale 75. I like both of them a lot, and they work really, really well together too. I'm really enjoying them. I need a break from the metal and everything. I'm gonna just go back to the anemone that we started with. I'm just gonna hit the highlights of the anemone again as if it were hair. The ends of each strand, and then the apex there of the of it as well. I'm liking that. He looks good. He's sassy on top of his anemone. There we go. Looking good. I'm happy. Try to get a little bit more light on this side because I'm going to add just a smidge of yellow because I think that'll add some really pretty. We went from purple to pink, and then if we go from pink to yellow, it will be complete. There we go. Look at that craziness. I'm gonna tie the minion together because we did that same thing on our skin tone, right? So don't just paint different pieces of the model, all this, different colors. Use the same colors over and over again on the model, like this. Isn't that amazing? If you ever watched the, I can't remember the name of them now. They're some, I think they're Czech. They might be Czech, but there's a amazing couple. They actually paint for Aradia quite a bit, and Craft World, that's their names. They will do something similar. Well, they're kind of paint through the other side of the color wheel like this. And Kaha Miniatures, she also will do that where she'll paint to the other side like that. Little yellow. Really like that yellow right there. And it adds kind of an etherealness as well, because he is sort of fantasy, right? So we want to give that back to the mini because we were going ultra realism, right? Now we're kind of coming back to fantasy and being wild. Happy with that. That is so pretty. Now we got some contrast on the anemone because we are leaving that dark purple, but we're kind of coming up pink and then all the way out to yellow again a little bit, just a little bit. That is kind of pulling your eye a little bit away. So what I'll do is I'll glaze it back with some purple again, but look at that contrast, bam. That is pulling my eye completely down. So I'm gonna glaze it back with the pink. Maybe not the pink, maybe the purple. There we go. There, now it's not quite so crazy. Get in there with a little grayish. Give me 1 second, I'll check chat. There, that's better. Pretty, oh my gosh. I need a minute to just look at him. Oh, the purple turned out pretty. Thank you. Ultra realism. Then give him a shell bra. Yes. Exactly. He does need that, doesn't he? All right, Robosh. Thank you so much, and you have a good night. Okay. We did the googly eyes instead of the shell bra, but that was kind of the idea behind it. All right. It is 5:23. I think real super quick. I'm going to use some of this jade and try to fill in a little bit of the base coat on his tail. And then we're going to work on him some more on Wednesday night, which is going to be from 6 until, when are we going to work? We're going to work from 6 until 9. I'm going to add a little purple to that jade right there. A little purple. That's pretty. Buff that in with my larger brush, right? Having a little trouble getting some coverage down here. There we go. That's really, really saturated paint, so I'm going to desaturate that a little bit. There we go. Very pretty looking so far. What do you guys think? More purple. I like that color. It feels eel-like. I'm gonna have to research eel skin because I want that to look good. So far, so good. What do you think? This brush blends really nice. Check that out. You wonder how many mer people reprocreate? The bottom, yeah, I'm sure there's like openings or whatever. There usually is with fish of some kind. Same thing. You know how fish, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm sure that there's some fan fiction that you could look up. Oh. It'd be funny, wouldn't it? Okay, hold on. I lost my brush. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna do one last thing. Get this little part covered. There you go. Mer people. All right. Let's look for somebody awesome to host. Give me 1 second here. All right, let's see here. I want you guys to come back and see me on Wednesday. We're going to be from 6 to 9. Let's find somebody awesome to host. It looks like we've got Maharoon is on and Studio J. We haven't hosted. See who's making. Let's do key lime. Wait. Yeah, let's do key lime prime. I would like that. All right, key lime prime. We might glitch it again. I always glitch with him. All right, there we go. All right, mad love, guys. Come back and see me from 6 to 9 p.m. and we will be painting more of Mediterraneo. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.